the challenges that presents. I thought, again, our guys handled it really good, and put 66, on the scoreboard. Hasn't been done in some time, so we're doing a lot really well on offense. In particular, precision, timing. Dylan was fantastic. I think he completed 15 of his first 16 passes and started the game with a great return. Unfortunately, we fumbled the ball there, but our guys had them hatted up and blocked, and really good execution there. And really, again, just pleased with the precision on offense. Kicking game was pretty good, and got plenty to clean up. We had several penalties that put us in a bad position, but we were able to overcome them. You're not always able to do that. So lots of things to teach and learn from. I got a laundry list of things defensively, that we got to get cleaned up. We were sloppy at times, but forced 5 turnovers and had 15 tackles for loss. And again, Danny had 9 tackles. Gentry had 6, and plus 3 in the turnover margin. That's plus 6 on the year. That's fantastic. We're really good on red zone and 3rd and 4th down on offense, but not where we need to be on defense in either of those areas. But again, lots to teach and learn from. Nick Anderson, first freshman in history, had 3 touchdown catches. We had 3 receivers over 100 yards, and Jalil had over 100 yards receiving and 100 yards in returns, and that hadn't been done in a long time. First time we've had 5 picks in a game in 20 years. So a lot to build from, and again, a lot to correct and get better at. And like I said, I felt defensively late in the second quarter and in the first drive of the second half, we're just sloppy, and we got to get better there. But really proud of the guys, their hard work. Really like this team, and they're hungry, they're driven, but their willingness to do the hard things is what I really like. And it goes, it's on both sides of the ball, So it's good. It's a good win, and got a great challenge, going on the road, this week to Cincinnati, and how they're playing. Going to be a really good challenge for us.
And how cool was that moment, third quarter, whenever the defense calls for noise and they get the noise, and it seemed like the rest of the way they found another gear for those younger guys?
Yeah, great job, I guess. I didn't really pay attention to that. I'm looking at fits and tackling and positioning and coverage and all that kind of stuff. But again, I thought that their quarterback, that came in, I thought he did a nice job. They got in a really good rhythm for several drives, and we didn't tackle great and didn't fit things great and didn't leverage, in the passing game like we need to. We had a bust on the first touchdown. Corner thought he was in cover 2, and he's on the man side, and so can't beat Oklahoma. And again, those mistakes will really come back and hurt you against good people, but not today. We were good enough today to overcome that, but again, real thankful for the guys and staff, and it's good.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Brent, today, the way Dylan Gabriel played and your offense going downfield, talk about that, the aggressiveness and the answer to the call.
Yeah, again, Dylan put a lot of really good balls out there today. Just receivers did a great job of attacking leverage and being in a position of dominance, and then we went up and made some competitive catches, several competitive catches today. And a year ago we didn't make it. We made some big plays, plenty of big plays, but not as many competitive catches that you really want when coverage is tight and people are surrounding you, draped all over you. And today, again, was a good example of, getting better in that way. And but Dylan, again, was fantastic. And again, receivers did a great job of gaining leverage and coverage and then going up and getting the ball.
Brent, how big is it for guys that when they get the opportunity to make plays? We saw Tyree in week 1, and today you saw someone like Nick Anderson get a chance to play and then to make plays and take advantage of their chance to make those plays.
Yeah, no, it's everything. We tell guys all the time, all right, this week we might have been majoring in, one thing, and stay ready, and be ready for your opportunity. And the hunger, the commitment, the willingness to stay locked in and be ready for your opportunity is again, through 3 weeks has been there, and that's a great thing. There's lots of different ways that, you know, we can win, and whether it's players and some of it's schemes, you know, being on point, you know, at quarterback, the precision. And Dylan was incredibly accurate today, you know, and made several really good plays in tight coverage, but love that we spread the ball around. I think we had 11 different guys, you know, catch a ball today.
As successful as it was, Brent, to go deep today, what did you think of that as the game plan coming into today? Coming off of last week where going deep wasn't really part of the game plan.
Yeah, I
It's kind
mean,
of an evolution.
I think, you know, going deep was a part of a week ago. We just didn't get to it. And some of the disruptiveness that was going on and got out of sync. And, you know, again, the first drive of the game, not that the first drive should define you for the day. You know, it's going to be good stuff. There's going to be bad stuff. You know, when we have what's in front of us, what our vision is for what we want to accomplish, the success that we feel like, you know, we can have this year, you know, there's going to be opposition. Things aren't going to go your way. And, you know, we got to, again, find different ways to win. And but today, those opportunities were there early, and, you know, we capitalized on them. And but like I said, you know, the last couple of weeks we can win, you know, different ways. And lots of guys, you know, have the playmaking ability, and it was great to see us get the ball, you know, to a bunch of different guys.
Comment on Walker not getting any playing time after such a big game last week.
Yeah, again, a couple of the other guys, you know, were finally healthy and trying to give them an opportunity, get them going and develop the depth there, you know, at running back. Javonte had played just a little bit, you know, going into the first couple of games, and then, you know, Sawchuk hadn't, you know, really played. So trying to get those guys going as well. And so just wasn't a plan to stay away from Tawi. It was really trying to get the other guys going, you know, today.
Brent, your defense, Williams got you pretty good the first 2 or 3 possessions he was in. After that, you sort of corralled him. What'd you do different?
Yeah, well, I thought we changed our pass rush lanes up a little better and just a little more disciplined, and then became a little better in some of the underneath coverage stuff, and we didn't bust, you know, for the most part, you know, and so we got to get a lot better and more disciplined. Again, a week ago, they go to Washington, and I think they had 21, 22 first downs and rushed for 170 yards, you know, against a top 10 team. You know, we got to get better, you know. I thought we let them off the hook several times on third down. And again, the red zone was really poor, and we had a bust for a touchdown. That can't happen. But nothing that was overly dramatic from a scheme standpoint, or didn't put a spy on them. We just got a little cleaner, and some of the stuff, you know, with some of the concepts they were majoring in with him, made slight adjustments, but just overall just played better, you know, fundamentally.
Savion Bird,
That's good.
he's good.
Yeah.
Got hurt, came out.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but we'll evaluate him. But
Brent, what's it say about your will to fumble on that opening kickoff, but bounce back and have
yeah, no, again, we talked about that, not letting, you know, those moments, you know, distract you, you know, for what we need you to do today. So, you know, he felt terrible, and just try to call him up, and, you know, in that moment, he had a great return, and, you know, but good lesson to learn. But he had a great day again. I think that was trying to look. First Sooner ever, maybe, I think, with 100 yards receiving, 100 yard in return. So that's pretty good for all the, you know, elite players offensively that have played here.
Brent, you guys started 3-0 last year and looked impressive.
Yeah.
Feeling hopeful after that. Going into conference play, does this feel any different this start versus last year?
Well, again, what we've said, right? I do think it's different. Does that mean, you know, you're going to avoid, you know, the same result? I don't know. I mean, that's determines, you know, will be determined by how our guys stay committed and stay focused and not get distracted and not get bored with doing, you know, the little things over and over and over. Staying disciplined to our process, how you play at a high level, you know, the improvement that we have to continue to make. The hunger, the leadership, the focus by everybody in the organization, you know, we'll determine that. And but I do feel like, you know, we got a better edge. I think we have more maturity. I think we have a better football IQ. I think we have, again, more competitive depth and, again, hunger, chip on our shoulder, all those things to, you know, to perform, you know, better than we did a year ago. But every team's different, you know. But this, I'm really excited. I really like this football team, and they're a fun group of guys. They're close with each other, and that doesn't always mean you're going to win, but I do believe that we got a different level of depth and a different, you know, level of, you know, overall commitment and a better, again, we had good leadership last year, just didn't have enough. And I think we got more guys that are capable of winning and more guys that are capable of leading.
Brent, 5 picks, how much of that is poor throws on their part? How much of it is good instinct
You know,
on your part being in the
yeah,
right place?
yeah,
Right time, that
I
kind of
wish, yeah, listen, so if you, everybody looks at the final stats, we're looking at it from the lens of Oklahoma, you know, but we watch a turnover highlight tape of the top turnover teams in college football, turnover margin teams, and there's a lot of bad balls being thrown up, and you can't ever apologize. We're not going to apologize for making the plays that are there. And so some of that was them, and we still made the play. A year ago, we dropped 8 dead in our hands interceptions. Had we just made those layups, I'm not talking about a great play. I'm talking about the play that was there that hit us in our hands, 8 of them. You know, we would have, you know, led the country in turnovers, interceptions, and been a hell of a lot better, I believe, you know, than our, you know, 6-7 record. And so I'm not going to take that for granted. Our guys, you know, making the play, you know, when we're in position, and some of it, again, there's some pressure, and they're trying to make a play. That's football, you know. That's football. We had one that was like that too, you know, on our part. So, you know, it hadn't been done in 20 years. There's probably been plenty of poor throws, you know, from the opponents, and you know, so getting 5 of them is a big deal.
It seems like Danny's getting better every week. He has the pick 6 today.
Yeah.
Is he a good example of what you're talking about, of just the improvement from last year to this year?
Yeah, he's getting better. Yeah. I'm always have a hard time. I'm a defensive guy, and again, I got this list of all this stuff that we got to do better on defense. I got a long list here of all this stuff that we got to do better. Danny's been making great improvement, but we as a defense, and him as well, and us as coaches, all of us, I mean, we got to clean a lot of stuff up. But super proud of him, man. He's always around the ball. If he's not the first one there, he's one of the first. He's definitely in the same you know, area code, and he's been our leader, you know, in defense, man. Nobody has strained as much and led as much, and you know, has put in as much with, you know, as Danny. Danny's been, you know, out in front for you know, for this group of guys.
What's at the top of that list for you, Brent?
Just sloppiness and just tackling, some of our run fits and some bad eyes. And we had 2 busts in coverage today that, you know, can't happen. We let the quarterback escape, and so we got to do a better job of, you know, rush lane integrity, how we're playing some certain concepts. We, you know, was too often we're not in good position. So, but again, I thought our guys were, we had 15 tackles for loss, and again, we did have 3 sacks, and we were 5 turnovers and plus 3 in the turnover margin. So there's a heck of a lot more that was good than not. And but several times on 3rd down, in particular, we got sloppy in some of our coverage stuff that can't happen. Gave up a fork route in 3 deep. Corners got to see it. We cover 2, and they run flat corner, and we jumping, you know, a short route on 3rd and long. You got to, you know, play the flat players. Got to play it top down. That was a big emphasis going into the week, and we didn't do that. I think that was the second half, that first drive, the second half, and let them easy conversion, man. Make them, you got to not beat Oklahoma, and so again, we'll celebrate this win, though, and get back to work, and we got to get better, you know, and that's, you know, all season long. If this team, you know, what I think we're building a really good football team to have a chance to have a really good year, much better year than we did a year ago, but it's going to take, you know, consistent improvement, and that's what this game's all about.
Time for one more.
At the start of fall camp, you described Gentry as being on a mission. In the context of the injuries in his past, what happened in March, what did you learn about him even just in the last 3 weeks?
You know, just he cares. You know, it kills him not to be out there, and his willingness to work and his toughness through all of it. You know, we got great doctors, and they're being very cautious like they should, and it kills him. It's a big deal to him, and you think it'd be a big deal to everybody, but it's not always. And but he's a guy that